All right, we're live. Thank you guys for joining us this afternoon, taking time out of your busy schedule. I am Joshua Paul, Marketing Director at SampleServe. I have with us Andrew Clark, Environmental Project Manager at Field and Technical Services. I have Russell Schindler, CEO of SampleServe. We're going to get this started off first with a short video. Okay, all right. Nice video, sums it up pretty well. This meeting should only be about 15 minutes long. Be sure to leave any comments in the comment section. We can read them off at the ending. So we're gonna go right into it, guys. Hop on in. Let's get it started.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Josh, for that introduction. First and foremost, we want to thank Russell and we want to thank Josh at SampleServe for their assistance in putting this together for us. They've been absolutely fantastic to work with. I mean, we couldn't be happier. So for those out there watching this live, we greatly appreciate your time as well, tuning in to listen to what we have to say. So without that, we'll get into it. As we get into 2022, environmental sampling and data collection is still largely based on methods, developed in the 80s. This involves paper documentation, and secondary manual data entry. For those involved in any type of environmental monitoring, reporting, the paper documentation is problematic for various reasons. Poor handwriting, right? That's one of them. Misinterpretation. And transcription errors. At most firms, report preparation, it's subject to production delays due to limited number of specialized users of software like AutoCAD and even GIS. So you have that back and forth between staff, PMs, to simply get out one graphic. That time can be significant. On top of that, you have informed decisions that are often delayed because, the time required to get that information in front of the right decision makers. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Russell.
Okay. So, what the industry is looking for, if you're a property manager, maybe you're an environmental coordinator at a manufacturing firm and an oil company. What you're looking for is information, right? You want to get information quickly. And the whole reason we gather samples in the first place is to be able to get a snapshot of what's going on so that you can make informed decisions in a timely manner. And what a property manager wants is to be able to get those answers quickly. Maybe they're doing a property transaction or there's some kind of due diligence going on. Maybe you're buying or selling. And when you're doing that kind of stuff, information, having the information yesterday isn't soon enough. And so they want a quick and accurate information. And so being able to some property managers even want to be able to jump in and create their own graphic. They got one question they want to answer right away. They don't want to have to make a phone call and then get a report or a graphic 2 days later showing what's going on. They want to be able to do it themselves. So, they shouldn't have to wait days or weeks to get a report on information that's already been collected and already been analyzed.
Exactly, Russell. And that is exactly why FTS has teamed up with SampleServe to implement a solution of these outdated methods of sample collection and reporting. The solution is a combination of field monitoring services, right? And then you have the SampleServe web and mobile applications to go together. This alignment of services means you get work done faster, more accurately, and overall for less cost. Russell, do you want to tell everyone how it works?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So SampleServe platform basically has 4 components, and each component is designed to serve a different user group. So the project management tool is actually set up so where you're going to actually set up all the project manager. Your project manager is going to set up all their project details. They're going to enter in their sample location information. They're going to upload site maps. They're going to upload well construction details, that kind of thing. And then they can upload historical data, historical lab data, historical field data. And then they're even going to connect with the laboratory. If the laboratory doesn't participate, it still works, but it works better. And then what they do is they create the scope of work. What are you going to sample for? Where are you going to sample? When are you going to sample? Once they've determined all that stuff, they enter that information in. It's very simple. And then they hit the save button. And then that scope of work actually gets pushed to the mobile field app. And the field technician is then going to be on the same page as the project manager. They're going to enter the field data right there. They're able to take photographs, GPS coordinates of sample locations, that kind of thing. They're going to print labels in the field at the time of sampling using our Bluetooth thermal label printer. They can create custom forms. If you want to do a well inspection form, you'll create that form in there and they'll answer that do inspection form right on the device. And then there's also a digital chain of custody. So when you're done sampling for the day, you're done, you're ready to ship samples or done for the project, you're going to create that chain of custody on the mobile device. And that digital chain of custody gets pushed to the mobile field app or to the mobile lab app. And so the lab has that information literally right away. It allows the labs to be able to forecast what's coming in. They can see when samples collections have been commenced. They see when they're in progress. And then they actually see when samples are in transit as well. So they get a good view into what's going on. That allows them to, make decisions better and staffing calls and stuff a lot easier. And then when the samples come in, they're going to scan the bottles in. Our labels are unique. They've got QR codes that go on the lids of the bottles. So they're able to scan things in very quickly using the mobile device's camera. And then that chain of custody is completed. And then the data gets pushed to their LIMS system, their lab software system, and saves them a ton of time in data entry and eliminates transcription errors. Then, a week or so later, when they've completed the analysis, they take that lab data and they push that back to the platform. The project manager is then notified, and then the project manager is able to generate all the common graphics or shows associated with a typical delineation report, where the contamination is, where it isn't, what the concentrations are, what direction it's heading. We can generate data box maps, groundwater contour maps, isochemical contour maps, all kinds of data graphs and all kinds of data tables, literally in a matter of minutes. So there's a significant savings on the time and effort involved in generating reports. And then the sampling events can start all over. New scope of work, data collection, and it just really saves a ton of time and effort. So Andrew, tell us a little bit about what your role is in the sampling that we're talking about today.
Yeah, so what Russell was speaking on there, where we fit in, we're able to log into the system and see, the events that are set up. And then, from there, our staff, they're specifically trained in groundwater monitoring and various types of environmental sampling. The one thing that we offer that we're happy with is our consistency. We have the trained professionals. Sampling is what they do. The events are completed on time, and we use steady procedures for each event. So our field staff, combined with the SampleServe technology, provides greater efficiency, which leads to cost savings. We have flexible pricing options to fit every client needs. As shown here, we can sample low flow procedures for as low as $145 a sample.
And so I see it's written here there, but I just want to clarify, Andrew, that includes all travel, all materials except for field filters. If you're doing like dissolved lead, it wouldn't include that. But so that includes everything, right? For 100, I mean, if you quoted them $145.
Yeah, Russell, exactly. If per the quote, it's going to include everything that you just mentioned. Yep.
So if you had 10 wells, it would be $1,450.
Yep. If we provide a quote that's $145 a well, and we go out and sample 10 wells, your invoice is going to be $14.50. Yep.
Great. And so if you, let's say I wanted you to collect a couple of gauges, groundwater elevation measurements without sampling, you could work that into a price per gauge as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Gauging well inspection, that can come as a per well prices, per well price as well. So,
okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, we can like I said, we can customize quotes however the client needs to. Yep.
And so you do 3-volume purge or traditional purge methods as well?
Yeah. So we get into, low flow is pretty standard. Another method that's fairly routine for us and we do quite a bit is the volume removal, traditional purging, 3-volume, however you want to call it. And that's, from bailing all the way to deep well purging, we do everything in between. So similar to low flow, you'll get a price and we have here as low as $135 a sample. And again, that's a per well sample that's fixed, and if that's what we quote you, that's what the invoice is going to look like.
Great.
And yeah. And
So,
keep in mind, that does include the sample serve software as well. So
great. So soil vapor sampling is becoming more and more prevalent.
Yeah, it's something that we definitely have increased interest in the last couple of years. So not something that we do as often or as routine as groundwater monitoring, but it is something we have experience with and definitely can accommodate, any request that clients may have for that. Absolutely.
And so you do other sampling as well, right?
Yeah, it's endless, really, Russell. Our core competencies are rooted around groundwater sampling. That's kind of how we came about. But we've implemented other techniques or other methods, hydrosleeves, PDBs. I mean, that's becoming routine for us, and our clients are requesting that. And we do that all the time. So, emerging contaminants is another thing that we've done in the past. We've expanded POTW, MPDS sampling, industrial facilities, a lot of stormwater sampling. We've built up quite a program for that as well. So we're very diverse. We can do a lot of different things. Our values are client compliance. That's very important to us. Cost savings for those clients, again, very important to FTS, and really providing consistent procedures that at the end of the day, what that does, it's going to provide reliable data. Okay. So that's what we're all about. We provide services to environmental consultants as well. And they're pleased to have a dependable contractor so that those consultants can focus on the consulting functions. Not the day-to-day tasks of, putting together monitoring programs or monitoring events, or even doing that one-off monitoring event that they're tasked with. So you want to combine the sample serve software where clients can actually log in anytime to see what we're doing while we're out in the field. They can get in before the event. They may set the event up, like Russell said. They can get in during the event while our folks are out there actually completing it, track progress, and they can get in after, as Russell was saying, with all the reporting functions that come with the program. So it's a simple solution, and really the benefits are endless for the client.
Great. So the sample serve platform, when you get to the reporting, as you mentioned, Andrew, which is included. When the data gets uploaded back to the lab, and even the field data, the project manager, the consulting engineering firm can log in and generate all these reports in a matter of seconds. Data box maps, groundwater contour maps, isochemical contour maps, all kinds of graphs, all kinds of data tables. They're all included with your one price per sampling. So we've worked out a deal where we're giving FTS, special pricing, including in their services. And, what does that mean for the FTS customer? Is it means reduce sampling and reporting costs, probably significantly reduce, because it does save you on the project management details. It also makes lab login a lot more efficient. Project management is very efficient. We make, because you don't have to collect data in the field, go back to the office and re-enter that data. All that goes away. So there's about a 20% savings in field data collection. You don't have to, sit in the parking lot of a laboratory frantically scribbling out the chain of custody before they close or before FedEx is done taking shipments for the day. So that goes away. Your chain of custody is done in literally a matter of seconds. And then the biggest savings cost is in the report preparation, right? You can, the days that it took to get that report out the door before is done in literally a matter of minutes. I routinely demonstrate that I can produce a full suite of graphics in under 5 minutes. So because create your preferences in the report, and then you save those preferences. Next time you come in there, you just hit click and it generates all the reports according to your preferences. So, and then all that leads to, better data quality, faster deliverables, and, better team communication.
Yep. So here's an example list of the customers that we serve. You can see there. So the next step would be to, in order to get that fixed price quote for your sampling project, all you have to do is contact me. My email is provided here. We would love the opportunity to speak with some of you, maybe learn about the projects or even your portfolio, gather some basic info that includes the type of sampling, the number of wells, or locations, of your project location or locations, depending if you have a portfolio, and the frequency. In most cases, we can typically get you a cost turned around in about two business days. But again, keep in mind, we'll be using the SampleServe platform. So all the pricing includes the SampleServe software, like we've said. And, even if you're in need of assistance due to staff shortages with everything that's going on now, just feel free to reach out to us. We want to help in any way that we can. And we're here for you guys.
All right. Great. Good job, guys. I think you covered a lot of it. We do have a lot of questions coming in.
Good. Yeah.
This one's for you. I'll throw the questions up on the stream here too. Get rid of this banner. So this one's for you, Russell. Is the secure database we would upload the historical data to be compatible with DoD level security? Is it approved for DoD projects?
So I doubt it. If it's a DoD project, we'll have to talk about the exact specifications. I can tell you it's very secure, but we have not done any DoD projects yet. And we don't do them. We actually, our clients do the projects. As far as I'm aware, we don't have any DoD projects in there. People have asked that question in the past, and just to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what that protocol is. I can tell you that we do have people ask about our security protocol all the time, and we have a document that I usually send to people. It's got all the common questions, frequently asked questions of that regard. And no one's ever said that our system was unsecure. But I don't think we've had any Department of Defense stuff yet. So I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question.
These are good questions. I know that. Chuck asked, Russell, does LIMS need to be specially configured to integrate?
So we have 3 levels of integration with a laboratory. In the bottom level, or the highest level, I've got them on a list from top to bottom, is where we do have an API with their LIMS system. We can do that, but most labs are in that second level where they're just taking a file from us, and then we take a file from them. So, to answer your question, we can integrate with any lab. It's just a matter of coordinating and make sure that their file format is compatible with us, and then vice versa as well.
So it would just be like a simple pre-formatted CSV file or something.
Yeah. Cool. And it takes us 4 hours to figure out how to communicate with a laboratory. It's actually very simple.
Nice. This one's for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Does FTS do dioxane sampling using the EPA method 522? If so, how much per sample do you think that'd be around?
Yeah, Roger, thanks for the question. The specific method alone, I'm not familiar with. I mean, we do dioxane sampling everywhere. Is that a drinking water method? Not sure. I'd have to look into that. If you're interested, we can talk and we can figure out what the price would be. But yeah, if you have a plan, a procedure, if there's an EPA method out there, our guys will be able to follow that and we'll be able to get that taken care of for you.
Okay. So probably just simple email.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. FTS, what is your area for the groundwater sampling services? Are you in South Central region?
Yeah, Nick, thanks for the question. One thing we didn't cover, we actually covered in our last video that we did, FTS is nationwide. So we have a core group here. We're actually based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but we do nationwide sampling. So we can stretch it out and make sure, everything's done for you in the manner that you need it done.
But
our folks are used to traveling. So
and Andrew, you guys cover the South Central region.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We're in Florida. We sample all the way up into the New England states. Just had a guy out in California last month. So yep, we're nationwide and everywhere in between.
Yep.
Corner to corner. Yep.
All right. Do you hold any accreditation for your sampling functions?
No, I would say that we don't have any, we're not accredited for sampling functions. When FTS kicked up back in 2006, some of the core folks that began the company, they went off to take, a sampling course and accreditation and things like that. So to answer that question, I would say no, but all of our folks are trained in all of the US EPA methods on how to collect samples. And that's what
and Saurabh, I don't know if you can answer this. I see your question there. Are you referring to like NEFAP accreditation? And you can type the answer in if you got it. But,
yeah, and if so, I mean, we do hold a lab certification. I don't know how much detail I want to get into this. We are a certified lab in the state of New Jersey for those that are familiar. There's a analyze immediate parameter list that in New Jersey, if you're doing low flow sampling, you have to be accredited. You have to be a laboratory to report those to certain agencies.
So FTS is and I'm familiar with the New Jersey protocol. So you do hold an accreditation.
We do hold that lab.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the default standard. If you're accredited in New Jersey, you're probably going to meet all the requirements for like NEFAP or something.
One size fits all kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Kamal wants to know, can soil analysis be done at sites immediately? So kind of like how ready are you guys kind of question.
So, we got people, literally sampling using our software every day all over the country. So we're ready. I mean, the question is, are you ready? I mean, you got to get your project into the system. And then, FTS and us can work with, when you're starting a project so that, Andrew and his people can do the sampling. But, onboarding is literally, I do onboarding with people all the time. And it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours to get people comfortable with the platform. And we provide that training and onboarding at no cost. There is no startup fees or anything from us. It's all covered through our agreement with FTS. So, if you're ready to sample, there's still time left in the day. I could train you and you can be sampling by tomorrow.
And Andrew, you guys at FTS, you guys are ready to get rolling right after a quote, contract signed and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. We're ready to go. Ready to meet some of the people that are on the call today. So you have my email, phone number, give me a call if you have any questions about us, what we do, how we can help you. We're here. We're happy to help. And, we look forward to it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We got Nick again with another good question.
Sure.
This one's a long one. For the figure creation portion of Sample Serve, would we be able to provide our own title blocks to use for the figures? And if not, would you be able to provide ArcGIS or AutoCAD layers so we can plug in the information to our title blocks?
Yeah. So without going in a lot of detail, the answer is yes. Yeah. And so if you've got a particular format, you would just upload that format and then the data gets plotted on kind of as another layer on top of your base map. So if you want your title block in there, all that stuff, and there's an unlimited number of maps or graphics that you can upload. So we don't limit, it's not one per type of graphic. If you want, 7 different types of groundwater flow and 20 different data box maps because you got a big site and you want to show all the hot spots. So that kind of customability and how you want your logo to appear is all up to you, and actually very simple to do.
Nice. Yeah. Keep in mind, anybody at any time can go in and create their own account on a SampleServe account and go in and mess around. I mean, it's free to create an account, and you can go in there and upload your own sitemaps and see what it can do. So back to the accreditation. Sarah was just talking about interest in accredited sampling had any commercial viability in the U.S. It appears to be in line with what we have in the U.K., with the exception of drinking water sampling. So it's essentially he's getting to,
Yeah. Thanks for that answer, Sarah.
All right, we'll see if we got any more. How about what about so you covered about with a client having their own project manager and how that works with working with FTS is they can keep their own project manager, right?
Yeah. So SampleServe is not a project management firm. We don't decide what you're going to do. We're just the tool. So you would use your project manager would use this tool to set up the projects, to generate the reports. Andrew's part, or FTS's part here is to do the sampling, right? So that's kind of a lot of people are having trouble finding help, and fixed price costing is nice because it really helps with budgeting. You know exactly what it's going to cost you, years in advance, and possibly. And so, we're just the tool. You keep your project manager. They still make the decisions. They still generate the reports. We just kind of make them more efficient. Right.
And working on the SampleServe platform, how does working multiple projects at the same time, how does that work?
That's actually, we make a project manager's job a lot easier because there's a view in our platform where you can see all your projects kind of at the same time, and you can sort a lot of different ways. You can sort by the last time it was sampled, what the next upcoming sampling event is. It'll tell you, you can see real quickly how many samples, how many groundwater elevations. So you can kind of see a summary of the scope of work and kind of all in one view, and it allows you to kind of forecast very easily. And we keep adding more and more functionality to that dashboard as well. So, in my previous life, I was a project manager, and I can tell you, I wish I had our tool back then. So,
yeah, well, I believe it. It solves a lot of the common problems. That's it for all the questions that we're getting right now. A lot of good questions. I imagine, if anybody has any more questions, make sure you can email Russell. You can email Andrew. You want to get a quick quote. They're happy to get back to you within 2 business days. And if you have any more questions about, especially with the functionality of how SampleServe works, you can go to sampleserve.com right now. You can start an account. You can get in there and see how it works. It's really simple, easy to use, saves a lot of time, ultimately saves a lot of money. I think that's it, guys. We're going to call it. Good job.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Yep.
We'll see you guys.
Have a good one.